If they can't kill you, they concentrate on discreditation.
In June of
Now, I don't know if discreditation is a word. I believe it's just
I don't think so, no.
discrediting.
It's like a preacher word, like where the Southern preachers try to sound. Yeah.
Yes. But this is an important part. He is saying, hey, if they can't kill you, which of course his conspiracy theory all along has been, they will kill you. But he's saying, again, like I'm saying about the conspiracy theories, that they have to embrace the absolute far intelligent side, as well as all of the errors committed by them and mistakes made. He is saying they keep trying to kill us, but when they can't successfully kill us, they start discrediting us.
It looks like you're about to
perfectly valuable thing or perfectly valid thing to do. What do you say?
It looks like you're about to play an episode of 30 Rock.
It does. So this is him saying that these aren't mistakes I've made or lies I've told. This is the CIA discrediting me.
1967, NBC News broadcast a white paper attempting to discredit Jim Garrison's case.
This is the thing I was talking about. That's the thing I was talking about. And let me tell you, it does a pretty good job.
Say positively that the person you knew as Clay
This was John Candy.
the person you have seen as Clay Shaw.
Scout's honor, he is not.
In my conversations with Perry Russo, he has stated that his testimony against Clay Shaw may be a combination of truth, fantasy, and lies.
He was not investigating any fact. His only purpose was, and he stated it pointedly, he said, I'm going to take Garrison out of this. He says, you're going down with him. He said, if you want to go, he says, you go with him because he says, you're finished. He says, now there is a way out. And I said, what would that be? He said, you go over to Biloxi, Mississippi. He said, we have a motel over there. He says, you're to walk in the motel. Clay Shaw will be in there, and you're to...
All right, are we following what's going on here? Because I know it's getting a little complicated.
I'm getting sidetracked by the way he talks.
Yeah, the way that is weird.
All five, you go in there. What's going on with his tongue? It's like right here.
It's like it's too small. It's like his tongue is too small.
Yeah. He looks like a Southern Neil Breen if his tongue was too small or something.
He is okay. So NBC puts out this thing to discredit Jim Garrison. They seek out Jim Garrison's number one witness, Perry Russo, Mr. Small Tongue here. And he is saying that the reporters from NBC say to him, I'm going to take Garrison out. You're either with us or you're against us.
Right.
And he says, okay. And he's saying the reporter tells him, we want you to take this bag to Clay Shaw in Mississippi. And I don't know. Well, he's basically saying that they were trying to set him up, but there's a lot of holes in that story, specifically one being, if he fell for it, wouldn't Clay Shaw be a little suspicious that the guy handing him a bag is the guy who testified against him in court?
Yeah.
Not the least of which being, like all the other questions he might ask. But yes, that is what he's saying. But here's this actually, pay close attention to this next part, because this gave me a pretty good laugh.
To walk out and state on television that you do not know Clay Shaw, you have never seen him, and that he was never...
Unbeknownst to NBC's investigative reporter, Walter Sheridan, Perry Russo had been pre-wired for sound by Jim Garrison to record their conversation.
So in the midst of the trial, his witness, and don't forget, this is supposed to be advocating for Jim Garrison. This is supposed to be making Jim Garrison look good.
I think now's an appropriate bum drop.
That is true. Yeah, this is a pretty good one. So while the trial is going on, NBC expresses interest in saying, we want to interview some of your witnesses because they're fucking nuts and you're crazy. He says, okay. And then goes to the witness and says, I'm going to wire you and you're going to give me the audio of everything that gets said between you and the reporters.
Now none of this was in the movie, right?
None of this was in the movie. Okay, so Perry Russo was also not in the movie. He was a composite character with another person and is ultimately Kevin Bacon's character.
Weird.
The guy who says that they get party. So yeah.
Pretty
And
good fucking party, yo.
this continues to get a little funnier. Listen.
You're to state that Oswald was never at Dave Ferry's apartment. And number 4 is you know nothing about any Kennedy plotters or any plot to kill the president.
He's saying that the reporters were telling him, we need you to say all this stuff. Now, here's the thing. He has already said all of these things. And now he's saying they told me to say all the things I've already said, but they're lying.
Of the United States. And I said, if I do that, what do you suppose would happen to me in New Orleans?
He said
Terry
doo-doo.
Russo is an amazing witness.
So
You have to remember that the defense and the federal government and anyone interested in destroying Jim Garrison's case had 2 years to work on Terry Raymond Russo.
So I said, I wouldn't be able to even live in New Orleans. He says, what state are you interested in living in?
all right. I need to start making quizzes. What do you think he says next? So he's saying that he's
Is
not
this to catch a dabbler?
Yes. What he's saying is that this reporter says, hey, we need you to do this to make our case against the guy who's been paying you. And he says, I ain't no snitch.
Right.
And they say, okay, well, what would it take for you to snitch? And he says, well, I would need to live in another state.
What are the
And they go,
okay,
and,
so
and
what are
they
the-
say, what state?
So wait, what are the choices?
Yes, 50. You got 50 choices.
I'll take Alabama.
Okay, Alabama, Clay. I'm sorry.
Clay.
Why did I call you Clay?
Hold on, let's ask Clay.
Trevor.
Let's see what Clay thinks. Clay, what do you think? Well, I think you can't go bloody worse than bleeding Florida if you're going to go for crazy.
Great answer. That's actually a really good one. Okay, now let's listen to what he says.
And I was caught off guard by this. And so I said, I said, I've always been interested in California.
Fuck you,
He said,
Mindy.
"What
I'm
city?"
in Georgia.
California. Let's
Versus
keep listening.
California.
Let's keep listening.
I said, I don't know. L.A. Los Angeles.
Yeah.
I don't know. L.A. That to me, I don't know about you guys, says a lot about his character. He is going to the land of grifters, the land of dreams. He's obviously a con man. And he's sitting here saying, I don't know. I've never really thought about it. L.A.
It's like he came up with it on the spot almost.
Right. And so that's, I don't know, man. I can't really even say what it is, but if someone were to give me that answer, I would immediately say, no, you're lying.
So I said, it's always
this
been the
guy's
city of dreams.
They worked on one of our main witnesses, Perry Russo.
I have to
offered
say,
him a job in
you
a
know, one of the things that makes him look like we've all had some very good training in the last few years studying a liar every day of his life.
Yep.
You know, and now I'm like, I see it now more when I see people lying. I'm like, that person's lying, because it's like
That is oh my God, that's an interesting point. I've never thought about that.
we think about it a lot more now for John. I'm sure of it.
Oh my God, that's really funny. And I am curious if subconsciously that is what started Skeptical Robots.
I mean, on some level, it's all. I mean, it is DabbleVerse adjacent. So
that is funny. I have not thought about that. Wow.
Yeah, because I mean,
Yeah.
like looking at it, I'm looking at it with these newer eyes, and I'm just like, that guy's fucking lying. Because how jerky he is, and like, forget his small mouth and his small tongue, like how herky jerky he is, and how he's doing all that stuff that John does when he's thinking and being performative. Yeah. It's very
yes, just gummy chainsaw. There you go. I've never really thought about that 3-bedroom, 2-bath, second floor walk up and down. That is it. That's exactly it. Yes.
Well, then do Mandy the solid and do the dun dun dun.
There you go. Oh wait, wrong one. I'm sorry. Yes, that's and man, that's really funny. Now that I'm thinking about it, you are right. So I am in the business of telling when people are lying. And I've always kind of wondered what subconscious things affect my normal life. And man, this is really kind of a moment where I'm like, holy shit, being skeptical really does fall in line with our DabbleVerse commitments. Man, that's really interesting, and it's really causing me to think a lot.
Well, the lovely Missy B said a long time ago when Point Dabble Point was in its infancy, she made a really good point that always stuck with me, where she's like, one day, long after John's gone and the DabbleVerse is just doing something different, we're all going to realize that what we really we're a group of people who are in narcissist recovery. That's part of what all of our friendships are based on, you know, like we all have, you know, and we're all looking at this shit as like with under a different lens and different microscope, so to speak. And we're just like, this is so fucking John, you know.
Wow. I don't remember that, but you have no idea how perfectly that describes my fascination with the DabbleVerse.
I mean, I feel like I do know that. We talk a lot.
Yeah, but I don't know that I've ever told you this. There is a person.
I know you're gay.
Life.
You don't have to say it.
There is a person in my life that is my John. And
no, we've talked about this, dude.
Oh, have we? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then, yeah. And that,
dude,
funny.
you are one of like, I would say 12 people that I know IRL sort of in the DabbleVerse where it's just like, yeah, this is my John. This is my John. This is my John. Yeah, dude, we're all looking at this shit under a new lens now. And then,
Corndiff, do you have a John in your life?
His name is Dennis.
I'm sorry, I spoke over what you said.
His name is Dennis.
Yes. Oh.
Yeah, I have. It's really, that is really funny. I have a John in my life, and
I do too. His name is Shuli.
When I started to watch, you know, John, of course I was a Stern fan, but when the DabbleVerse, you know, came to my attention, I was like, oh my God, I know this person. And it is really weird. It is victims of narcissist recovery is what it is. And wow, that is deeper than I expected to go on this show.
Well, that's honestly why I love collaborating with people in the DabbleVerse. Cause like, you know, I grew up wanting to collaborate with people, and I attracted a lot of narcissists, and I always ended up carrying the weight and being, you know, it sounds gross, but being the most talented person, and everyone was like, he'll figure it out. He'll be in charge. And it's a delight. I think I've said this to you in private. It is a delight to collaborate with some of you people and especially you, because it's like, there's no fucking ego. You just want to be a part of something cool.
Yeah.
That's all it's ever is. And it's like, and it's such a relief from the way we see all these fucking narcissists and that lens that John is kind of making us aware of, you know.
This serious moment is brought to you.
I've got some serious music here. You want to play this? Some sad, solemn music.
I like that.
Been sitting on that for a while.
Oh, here you go. Let's see. My buddy Hackride. Here you go.
Hackride.
My 2 cents, I think originally a lot of people wanted to help him, and we're empathetic to such a vile creature because you can't fix that creature in your real lives. That is, so maybe this guy is a avatar. Yes, and that is, I believe that's a part of being a victim of narcissism. I believe it goes hand in hand with that. All right, let's finish.
What do you mean? I'm sorry. What do you mean? Like
by the part of saying that you are empathetic for a vile creature and knowing that you can't fix that person. Yeah, I believe that's a part of being a victim of someone's narcissism.
Absolutely.
My opinion.
Absolutely.
It goes right into that.
That's right, it sucks.